Okay, so we all know data runs, well, pretty much everything, right? From your phone to Wall Street. But what if we turn that super powerful engine inward? That's what we're digging into today, how data can actually improve the people behind the tech, not just the tech itself. Think about it. Tech companies are absolute wizards at optimizing stuff. Servers, software, you name it. They know what you're going to buy before you do. It's kind of scary, right? But there's this one big thing that's way harder to nail down. The people, the human side of things. How do you actually optimize teamwork? Or put a number on company culture? That's the real puzzle.
So, this brings us to what some researchers call the people problem. Because in today's tech world, being the fastest or the smartest isn't enough. It turns out that how your team works together, how you communicate, how you build a culture is just as important as the actual product you're building.
Yeah, it really gets at a core truth, you know? Having the tech skills, that's just the ticket to get in the door. The real magic, the thing that drives innovation, is what's called organizational behavior. And that sounds complicated, but it's really just that whole messy, complex dance of how people interact. And you know what? We can actually measure parts of it now. We can look at how fast teams reply to each other, who's talking to whom, even the vibe in the company Slack. It's why they say a great team with a good idea will crush a good team with a great idea every single time.
Okay, so if the people part is so critical, the next logical question is, can we use tech's favorite tool, data, to actually fix it, to make it better? Well, that's exactly what a group of researchers wanted to find out. They took 3 different kinds of data tools and put them to the test inside real, living, breathing companies.
First up is a tool you've probably heard of, database analysis. This is pretty straightforward. It's about digging into the data you already have, the stuff that's all neat and tidy in spreadsheets and databases. The detective analogy here is perfect. You're sifting through existing files, looking for clues and patterns. It's solid, but you're kind of stuck with the data you already decided to collect.
All right, tool number 2 is called integrated data processing. And its whole job is to tear down those dreaded data silos. You know what I'm talking about, where the HR data lives over here and the project management data lives way over there and they never talk to each other. This tool smashes them together. It combines all these different sources to give you one single clear picture of what's really going on.
And then we have the big one, the heavy hitter, big data analysis. This is a whole different ballgame. We're talking about using serious computing power to analyze huge, messy, unstructured piles of information. Think about all the emails, the Slack messages, all that digital chatter. If the first tool was a detective with a magnifying glass, big data is like a satellite view of the entire planet. You can see massive patterns that you would totally miss otherwise.
So the researchers have their 3 tools. But this wasn't just some theory in a lab. Nope, they took this show on the road. They went out into the real world and partnered with a few IT service firms over in Jordan to see if these tools could actually work in the wild.
And the question they were asking was really simple, really fundamental. It wasn't about whether the tech was cool. It was, if you use data to understand your people, does it actually make a difference? Does it lead to better teams, a better culture, and do people actually do their jobs better because of it?
Their plan was super clean, basically a 3-step process. Step 1, bring in the data tools. Step 2, see what happens to things like teamwork and culture. And Step 3, see what happens to how well people actually perform their jobs. Super simple cause and effect setup.
Okay, so the stage is set. They run the experiment, they crunch the numbers. So what happened? Well, this is where it gets really, really interesting.
The results, in a word, yes. A big, loud, clear yes. Using these data tools didn't just have a small effect. It had a major, positive, and totally measurable impact. This wasn't a coincidence. The data was crystal clear. This approach flat out works.
And it wasn't just one thing. They tested 7 different hypotheses. And guess what? Every single one checked out. Did the tools improve how people work together? Yep. Did the tools improve how well people did their jobs? You bet. And here's the kicker. The better teamwork directly led to better job performance. Every single link in that chain held up.
So, we've established it works. All 3 tools helped, which is great. But now for the million-dollar question. Were they all equally effective? Or was there one clear winner that just blew the others out of the water?
And here we go. This chart tells the whole story. It's showing what's called effect size, which is just a fancy way of saying how big of a difference each tool made. So you see, database analysis, small effect. Integrated data, medium effect. But then look at big data.
Wow,
Its impact is just huge. It completely towers over the other two.
So what made big data so powerful? It's because it could see the real work. It could analyze all that messy human stuff, the Slack messages, the email chains, the collaborative docs. That's where culture actually happens, right? It's in those day-to-day interactions. It's a view that neat, tidy HR spreadsheets could never give you. This wasn't just a tweak, it was a massive game changer. Okay, this is all fascinating stuff from a study, but what about the real world? What does this actually mean for you and your team? Let's get into the practical side of things.
So what are the big takeaways here? First and foremost, data isn't just for your products anymore, it's for your people. And this isn't some fluffy, feel-good idea. The research proves that a better workplace culture directly leads to better performance. That's a bottom-line argument right there. And if you want the biggest bang for your buck, the data says to go all in on big data. It's the most powerful tool for seeing how work really gets done. You put all that together, and you've basically got a blueprint for building a smarter, more effective team.
You know, what this research really does is crack open a door to some amazing possibilities. It shows we can actually use data to tackle these incredibly complex human problems, like teamwork and culture. So I'll just leave you with this one question to chew on. If we can use data to build better teams, what's next? What other human challenge could we solve? Could we use it to fight burnout? To spark more creativity? The potential is just massive, and we're only getting started.